Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Matt.
I'm Joel.
I'm Bob.
I'm Daniel.
And we're some of the Veggie boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to have you with us today. Currently in the greenhouse, just checking on everything. We've got the animals all taken care of this morning, and I'm trying to figure out if I should open up the greenhouses. Temperatures outside are gonna be barely getting into the upper 50s, and because of that, I'm a little, hesitant to start opening up the greenhouse. Although the temperature inside the greenhouse is sitting at 80 degrees, which I think I need to roll up some of the sides. Ooh, look at this. This is exciting. We're getting tomato blossoms. Finding blossoms on our tomatoes is really exciting for a few reasons. One thing is we know that we're about 40 to 60 days away from getting tomatoes. In about 1 to 2 weeks, we'll start seeing little green tomatoes forming on some of these tomato plants, especially where the early blossoms are forming. Now, it's important to keep in mind, this is when the plant is at its most aggressive development stage. The plant is gonna be putting a lot of energy into growth. We could be seeing 1 to 3 inches of plant growth every single day. That is wild. This is where we really need to pay attention when it comes to weaving these tomato plants. We need to make sure that the plant has plenty of support as it starts to produce the fruit. I knew this point was gonna get here sooner than I expected, but I am very excited about this. We're gonna have to go through and weave some more string and get these tomatoes supported because the growth will not stop. I'm currently working on watering. You can see Matthew's got the four-wheeler and wagon behind me. He's going in and out of every single greenhouse, just getting stuff that needs to be filled up on top. Not only does Matthew help customers basically all day long, but he also has to keep everything filled up, which is a full-time job. At this point in the year, as we move into planting season, Daniel's gonna handle a lot of the planting. Matthew will work almost solely here at the farm market unless we need him to help with planting. And my job will be somewhat in between. I help take care of the animals quite a bit. I work on these greenhouses, but I also find myself out in the fields with planting and with cultivating. That also is a full-time job. As of right now, I'm working on watering. We need to get all these greenhouses taken care of, so it's one less thing to worry about. Pretty. These are pretty.
Yeah. I went through yesterday and spaced.
that a hummingbird in here?
Probably. They love these wave petunias.
It's really busy up in the farm market. I had to help Dad and Matthew load up some plants. We took a whole wagon of hanging baskets and a whole bunch of vegetables up. When I got up there, there was tons of customers that needed help as well. We are very busy today, which is a good thing. I'm happy about it. I want to get these plants moved out. However, because of that, I'm not going to be able to finish watering. Dad is going to take over for me. He said his leg is still hurting him. So we'll let him take over this job. I'll go up and walk around. At this point in the day, the job is pretty interesting. The number one thing I'm going to be doing, just helping customers. If they have any questions about plants, I answer the questions. If they need plants moved, I move plants for them. It's an interesting job. I like it. It's nice to be able to see the customers again. I was able to help Aunt Rhonda and Uncle Matt catch up. How you doing in here, Pop? Everything watered?
I'm on my last line of baskets.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm curious, what do you think of our tomatoes down there?
Getting nice.
They've got a lot of blossoms on them now. You know what that means? They're growing.
We're picking tomatoes soon.
I'm excited. Lunchtime on the farm. Let's see what we're having.
I don't know. I have to Brian.
It looks like we're having meatball hoagies for lunch. And speaking of cooking and baking, look over here. Wow, look at the pies. Grammy is working hard. So before we keep going with today's video, I want to show you guys something we've been using around the farm that has been super useful. This right here is the Solar Reolink floodlight camera. What I really like about this setup is it's not just a security camera with a little light attached to it. This thing is an actual floodlight level security system. It has a super bright 1000 lumen floodlight on it. This thing even comes with a siren on it just to give you that added benefit of security. Now, one of the cool parts is that you can completely customize it right from the Reolink app. You can change the brightness, adjust the color temperature from warm lighting all the way to bright daylight white, and even choose different lighting modes. So you can have it stay on normally at night or set it to trigger when it detects movement. What's really smart on this camera is actually the AI detection. It can tell the difference between people, vehicle, and animals, which is super important down around back. Why is that so important? Well, you're not getting so many false detections. Your phone isn't buzzing from all the notifications that you don't need to see. And what's cool is you can have a few things happen. When it does detect motion, it can have the floodlights flash, it can sound the alarm, and it can send notifications right to your phone. And this is where it's really big for us, being able to monitor equipment, buildings, areas around the farm, the animals, and all this is able to happen without running wire everywhere, and that's a huge advantage. This thing is fully wireless and solar powered, so installation was honestly simple. No wiring, no complicated setup, just mounted it where I needed it. The camera itself is also really impressive. It records in 2K HD with super wide 150 degree view. And the color night vision is really clear at night, which is important around a property like ours. And even with cloudy weather like what we're dealing with today, the solar has been super reliable. Just an hour can give it enough power to run all night. Which when it comes to what we deal with, that's pretty wild. We'll take that. So if you guys want to check it out for your garage, your house, your backyard, your farm, your property, check the link in the description and the top pinned comment down below. Thank you to Reolink for sponsoring today's video and helping to keep us safe. Wowzers. Look at that. Once I got finished off with lunch and I helped a little bit more at the farm market, I felt like it was a good idea to go out to the sweet corn and see how things were growing. Well, all I can really say is that I am pleasantly surprised with the growth that we're seeing with our sweet corn. Now, this was the earliest sweet corn that we had seeded under the biomulch, and it is growing like crazy. This is so comforting to see. It helps us appreciate that this was a great idea. And some other good news, it seems that the mulch is starting to break up all on its own. It's tearing really easy, which is a good sign. Thankfully, we've had some sunny days, which is definitely helping out. Unfortunately, the weather's not gonna be super, super nice. If we had some warm and sunny days, it'd be a lot better for this sweet corn. But unfortunately, while I was talking with my dad, it seems that we are gonna be dealing with cooler weather for the later part of the month, which is kind of a bummer. But you know what? It is what it is. I've got beautiful sweet corn, and I'm happy. There was quite a bit of work that went into this job, getting all this mulch laid, getting this sweet corn planted, but the amount of benefits we receive from it is unbelievable. I mean, just getting that early sweet corn to the customers have been waiting all winter long, and some of that sweetest, best tasting sweet corn is the first ear you get of the year. And when you live in a close community like the one we live in, a lot of people talk. So when they find out you have sweet corn, they're gonna tell their friends, and that's gonna get more people into the farm market. So if we can create that early momentum, getting more and more people into the farm market, they will kind of stay with the farm market. You know, hey, I got my sweet corn from this farm, I'm gonna keep going there. Now, something that's really cool that not many people have is in our local area, there's actually a whole bunch of other farmers that do very similar to what we do. And they all grow great stuff. I've eaten it myself. And thankfully, us and the other farmers don't really look at it as competition. There is plenty of people here in the area that we can support as many people as possible. I know for us here alone, there are days where it feels like there's too much, and if we don't have a certain crop, we'll call one of the neighbor farmers and we'll direct people over there. It's nice when a farm community not only does well, but wants to work together. But I just have to say, planting the sweet corn this way, it does so many good things for the sweet corn. It warms that bed up, that causes germination to be a little bit earlier. And if we get the crop off to a very strong start, like what we're seeing here, even as the days do get a little cooler, our nights get a little cooler, it's protected and it's got that first initial start that's oh so important. At the end of the day, early sweet corn is a win for everybody. The customers get what they want. We're able to supply the customers with what they want. Everybody gets excited and everybody has a good time when they get fresh sweet corn. But since I had a few minutes, I wanted to go for a little ride and check on how the sweet corn was growing. I think we're gonna have to help it break out of some of this mulch, but we will definitely be picking sweet corn sooner rather than later. I'm driving slow along this field. We planted potatoes here, but I'm not seeing any potatoes up. Probably soon, very soon. I do have another crop that we planted not that long ago that I really want to check on, and that would be our first planting of cole crops. It feels good to look down through the field and see rows of grain. That always makes me feel good. All the way up here at the front, we have some strawberries that we planted for fun. I mean, that's truthfully what it was. Then we have a few different varieties of lettuce. Right across the road, we have peas, which I won't talk too much about peas. You already know how I feel about them. It's not too great. I don't feel that great about the peas. But I will say they look stunning. Unfortunately, we've been hit with some colder weather than we would like. But if you look down through the rows, you can see the strips of green. We've got a few different varieties of peas. We've got sugar snap, snow, and shell peas. And we move right here from our first planting of peas into our second planting of peas. You can see these are a little bit smaller. Here's the second planting of peas, looking absolutely beautiful. And over here is our first planting of peas, looking a little rougher, but that's mostly due to the cold weather that it got hit by. It's one of those things we can't really do much about. Peas can handle some cooler weather, but it got pretty cold. Now over here, I'll talk about the few different crops that we have planted. I'm gonna focus mostly on the kohlrabi, the broccoli, and the cabbage. Some of you may be curious why I'm not going to talk about cauliflower. We didn't plant that much cauliflower for our early planting. The very simple reason, it doesn't grow well for us in spring. Not sure why. Our fall cauliflower, 10 times better than our spring cauliflower. Now, talking about the crops by themselves, they are very, very popular. They're one of the first things that we really get into the farm market. That's something that we grew ourselves. Spring cabbage, broccoli, and kohlrabi, they fill the farm market up before the summer crops really get into rotation. And like the sweet corn, having fresh early crops, it gives the customers something to look forward to, and it gives them something to be excited about, and they'll be out hunting for it when we start posting about it at the farm market. Another thing that's big when it comes to the three crops that I just mentioned, cabbage, broccoli, and kohlrabi, the spring versions of those crops have some of the best quality that you will find. I'm not sure if it's because of the cool nights and then things warming up. Late season harvest, cabbage is really good after a frost, but even this early spring crop, it's really delicious. The cabbage tends to stay crisp and sweet here in spring. The broccoli has a really tight crown on it, and the kohlrabi develops this sweeter bulb to it. Kohlrabi later on in the year can get like a woody taste to it. People don't like it. A lot of the older customers that come in the farm market, those that have raised kohlrabi in the past, have seen that the older hybrids, the older varieties, they tend to get tough. But thankfully these newer varieties are really good and they combat that. It adds variety to our lives, you know, adding something new for us to pick. It's great for the local customers. It's something they're always looking forward to. Cabbage, broccoli, kohlrabi, things like that are those early crops that really get the customers moving. It's funny to be out in the fields talking about harvest and talking about what I'm looking forward to and what I'm looking forward to selling. And knowing back at the farm market, I have got countless plants that people are going to be taking and bringing to their own homes and planting and harvesting themselves. It seems that every single year we're planting more and more for the customers to take home and plant themselves, which is good. I'm glad people are starting gardens. But on top of that, it seems that even us, we are planting more and more and we're selling more. It's just one of those cycles that I can't wrap my head around. What I can say is thankfully, people enjoy what we raise, and if they enjoy what they raise and keep coming back, they'll be able to support our family for even more and more generations.
What's she doing? Go in the greenhouse. Go in the greenhouse. Go ahead.
Now that I'm home, we've got dinner all ready for the kids, and Lily's wearing my hat. What's up, dude? And since we're all home and since we're all ready for dinner, that means this is where we're gonna end the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.